All right, if you're in electronics design, you know the drill, right? It's this constant juggling act between cost, reliability, and lead time. You let one of those drop and bam, your whole project can start to unravel. But what if you had a supply partner who could help you keep all those balls in the air without the stress? Well, today, we're going to look at exactly how that might be possible.
So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a look at a company called TwinWin Electronics and see how they tackle these huge industry headaches. First, we'll meet them. Who are they really? And we'll dive right into their power component portfolio. After that, we'll see where these parts actually go. What industries are they powering? And then the really interesting part, their supply chain advantage. Finally, we'll wrap up with what might be their secret sauce, their whole philosophy of being a partner, not just some faceless trader.
Okay, so first things first, let's meet TwinWin Electronics. They've got this tagline, a one-stop components supply platform. You know, that's a pretty bold claim, especially in today's crowded market. So the big question is there any real substance behind that slogan? Let's find out.
Okay, a quick look at the numbers tells a pretty clear story. They've been around since 2010, based out of Dongguan, China, and they're not a small operation. We're talking over 200 million RMB in sales and a team of more than 60 people. But here's what really stands out to me. Their focus is laser sharp on power semiconductors and passive components. That's their world. And because of that focus, they can cater to everyone from OEMs, the original equipment manufacturers, all the way up to huge industrial clients. They've got that deep expertise.
And that specialization, that's everything. It's what lets them build a component portfolio that's actually, well, powerful. They're not trying to be a giant supermarket for electronics, selling a little bit of everything. Nope. They're the specialists, the experts in the exact parts that make modern technology tick.
And really, that expertise all boils down to their core strength, a really deep, carefully chosen portfolio of authorized power semiconductor brands. You could say this is the heart and soul of their entire operation.
I mean, look at this lineup. It's like a who's who of power specialists. They're authorized distributors for Panjit, so you're getting those robust MOSFETs and SiC diodes. Then there's MCC for the really advanced stuff like SiC power modules. You've got UTC for IGBTs and power ICs, and NCEPOWER for just a massive range of MOSFETs. The key here is that this isn't just some random collection of parts. It's a strategic arsenal, purpose-built for anyone doing a power-focused design.
But of course, right, power semis don't exist on their own. You need the whole circuit, the full bill of materials, and that's exactly where their passive components come into play.
So they round out the picture with all the essentials. We're talking stuff from Fenghua for your capacitors and inductors, Uniroyal for precision resistors. They even have specialized things like Tantalum caps from XJ. Really, the big takeaway here is that they can support your entire power stage BOM. Think about how much that simplifies the whole sourcing headache.
Okay, so we've seen what they sell. That's the what. But now for the so what. Where does all this stuff actually go? Let's talk about the real-world impact and look at the huge industries where these components are really making a difference.
Honestly, this list of industries reads like a roadmap of where the world is heading. You've got the green energy revolution. They're powering EV chargers and solar inverters. They're in the smart grid, in industrial automation and motor drives, and even in the backbone of our telecom networks. And get this, they're also a key supplier to the EMS providers, the actual factories that build all this technology. Basically, if you've got an industry that depends on efficient power, chances are TwinWin is in the mix.
And that brings us to their supply chain advantage, because let's be real, in today's market, just finding the right component is only half the battle, isn't it? The real challenge, the place where you win or lose, is getting it reliably, fast, and at a good price. That's where the real value is.
So let's just start with the number that gets everyone's attention, 20 to 30%. That's the typical cost saving they offer compared to global market averages. Think about that for a second. For any team, any project on a tight budget, that's not just a nice little saving. That's a serious competitive advantage.
And it's not just about the money, it's about time. They can ship worldwide from their Hong Kong warehouse in just 4 to 7 days. In a world of crazy, unpredictable lead times, that kind of speed is a game changer. It can literally be the difference between hitting your product launch and missing it completely. And then there's the flexibility, a minimum order quantity or MOQ of just $1,000. What does that mean? It means they can support you from the very beginning, when you just need a few parts for a prototype, all the way up to mass production. It just rips down a huge barrier for getting new ideas off the ground. So how does this all work in practice? It's actually beautifully simple. Step 1, you send them your bill of materials, your BOM, even if it has a mix of different brands. Step 2, they do all the heavy lifting. They consolidate and source everything for you. And step 3, you get your complete order in a single shipment. It's just a straight-up solution to the nightmare of sourcing.
You know, all of this, the cost, the speed, the simplicity, it all points to their final and maybe most important differentiator, and that's their whole philosophy. They see themselves as a partner, not just another component trader. The secret sauce isn't just about moving boxes, it's about the technical know-how they bring to the table.
And the difference here is really night and day. On one hand, you've got a pure trading company. They're all about the transaction. They sell you what they have in stock, and that's pretty much it. But on the other hand, you have Twin Wind's approach. They're focused on partnership. Their team actually speaks your language. They're talking to engineers to solve tough BOM problems. And this is huge. They can recommend good, cross-brand alternatives if a part is suddenly unavailable or the price skyrockets. See? That's not just selling parts. That's actually solving problems.
And it all circles back to their core mission statement, which I think says it all. Their goal is simple: to be your most responsive and reliable electronic component supplier in the power electronics field. Those two words, responsive and reliable, that's the thread that ties everything we've talked about together, from the parts they choose to how they ship them.
So, after all this, it really boils down to one simple question you have to ask yourself. When you look at how you're getting your components right now, is your supply chain actually accelerating your innovation? Is it helping you move faster, or is it just another obstacle holding you back?